Okay, well, now this is going out live. So if anybody were watching this on our Google Plus, like if Clio happened on the Google Plus, even though this is a test, if your screen should have a little box in the upper right hand corner that
Yep.
says live.
Oh, wait. Mine says live.
Yeah, there you go. Well, then we're okay.
Live, John,
Live,
live.
damn it! Like George Costanza.
Yes. Yeah. See? Yeah.
Did you just do that in honor of George Costanza to show me your
Yes,
bald spot?
I did. I got a few good more good years left. We're
So
in the
I
race.
just looked it up
I need to live, damn.
while we were looking, texting before, that I looked up UCLA's alumni,
Yeah.
and through the power of Wikipedia, there's this one page that has all their NBA alumni and what years they were at
Huh.
UCLA and how many NBA All-Star games they played in.
It's not many, I imagine, right?
Well, there's Kareem with 19.
Right.
And of course, you have Bill Walton, who played in so many All-Star games, which is an amazing player.
That's how Arnold Schwarzenegger would do a Bill Walton imitation.
That's not bad. That's a pretty good approximation. But Bill Walton only played in two All-Star games.
Yeah. He was hurt so often.
Yeah, I know. But so you had Kiki Vandeweghe,
Oh
but
yeah.
I don't think he played for Wooden. He played 76 to 1980. He's a Gene Bartow product, isn't he?
That's true. It's right. That's post Wooden. You're right. Good call.
I'm not 100% sure. Marcus Johnson was
Yeah.
a multi. I'm just looking for multi NBA All Stars.
Yeah.
Your friend and mine, Swen Nader. We both
Sure.
were Swen
He
Nader fans.
he fashioned a career backing up Kareem in the
Yeah,
pro
exactly.
in the
Both
pro.
in college and in the NBA.
Right.
Actually, he made two NBA All Star games.
Oh really?
Yes.
When Nader?
Swen Nader. He averaged 12.4 points and 11.6 rebounds in the NBA. He was UCLA's Jack Simka.
You just, that would win you. Well, unless you were in case you were in a really bad bar, that would win you a lot of bar bets.
Yeah, exactly.
Nader was an NBA All Star 2 times. No way.
No one will believe it. So I'm looking for other multi-time NBA All-Stars who played in the Wooden era. Marcus Johnson, that's one.
Yeah.
He played five NBA All-Star games, but he was like latter day Wooden. And then the other one's Gail Goodrich, who played in five.
How about that?
Um, and then like your other, like if you did an all-time NBA team of UCLA guys, you basically your backcourt is pretty much you can have Henry Bibby is in your top 4 or 5.
Wow.
Baron Davis, Reggie Miller, Gail Goodrich. And that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
Marcus Johnson, and then of course Walton, Alcindor, and Swen Nader, of course, up front. And then like your Kiki Vandeweghe, he's going to play a lot on this UCLA team. Oh, Jamal Wilkes. I left out Jamal Wilkes.
Slick Wilkes. Yeah.
He was Keith Wilkes at that time. And then there's also Sidney Wicks. He was a power forward, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was part of the hold on, I'm looking at one other thing. He was part of the bad NBA when it was like,
Drug-filled NBA.
yeah, and he was like, dudes, why is everybody so upset? Our these losses don't show up in our paycheck. That kind of, that NBA.
But he was a 4-time All-Star with the Blazers.
Wow.
Final Four most outstanding player in 1970. First team All-America in 1971. Sporting News National Player of the Year. Number retired by UCLA. So he's pretty good. I mean, like to have like an all-time UCLA team that would be as deep as an all-time Dean team in the
Yeah.
NBA. You'd have to include Westbrook and Love, and like the more modern UCLA players, Aaron Aflalo.
Yeah.
So,
What's his name? Trevor Ariza.
yeah, exactly. I mean, those guys. So I mean, my all-time
But Trevor
Dean
Ariza is
top
like their
10.
Stackhouse. I mean, actually, Stackhouse, people forget. Stackhouse made, I think, 3 NBA All-Star teams.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, he's not in the top 10 Carolina alumni unless you're. I mean, if you're going by position, he probably is. If you're just going top 10. But like shockingly, the big problem for Carolina's alumni team would be
Point guard, right?
because outside of Phil Ford and Kenny Smith, who were Dean's NBA point guards.
Yeah, they were both rookies of a year, but that's about it.
Oh, Kenny Smith won a slam dunk championship. Don't forget.
And he got 2 rings with the Rockets.
That's right. He did.
Let's see. George Karl played 1 year in the NBA.
Well, see, that goes to my other point when you mentioned Cunningham. I mean, the Dean Smith coaching tree in the NBA, with just Larry Brown and Cunningham have championships.
Yeah.
Popovich is a descendant thereof, but I'm not going to take. I mean, we would put him in the tree. I would see where others would not. And then George Karl, how many times was he coach of the year in the NBA? Several.
He's one. If you look at, it's funny if you look at that. They just had something on this the other day because Popovich is about to get us 1,000 win.
I saw that.
And there's 6 NBA coaches that have 1,000 wins, and 2 of them are Larry Brown and George Karl.
It's not bad.
Yeah. So, I'm still preoccupied by your point guard question, though.
As you should be. I mean, James Braddock did not play in the. Jimmy Braddock didn't play in the NBA. I'm guessing.
Well, if you look at the point guards, it was
Jimmy Black.
I was Phil Ford to Jimmy Black, to Jeff Lebo, to King Rice, right?
You left out Kenny Smith.
Well, Kenny Smith in the middle there, that's right. But I mean, outside of Kenny Smith, King Rice.
Yeah, to King Rice, to Derek Phelps, to Jeff McInnes. That's another NBA point guard.
McInnes had a long NBA career, though, somehow.
He did. But he would not be. I think his career was lesser than Kenny Smith's was.
Oh, yeah. And now Kenny Smith has made himself into this, pseudo-journalist who has some influence, it seems like, whose opinion matters in the NBA because of his broadcasting career.
Okay, so I'm just ranking, just on Basketball Reference, I'm going by Carolina players by minutes played in the NBA, which is a very rough guide of how good you were. But to be good, you had to play a lot of minutes. If you were good, you played a lot of minutes. But it's Jordan. Vince Carter is second all-time in minutes.
Wow. I would have gone Sam Perkins, but okay.
Well, Vince and Jameson both passed Perkins. Perkins is fourth. Rasheed fifth. Stackhouse sixth.
Wow. Really?
Worthy, Walter Davis, Robert McAdoo, Billy Cunningham right there at 10. Bobby Jones, Charlie Scott, Rick Fox, Raymond Felton, Kenny Smith. Just looking for other guards. Hubert Davis, but that's a 2. Doug Moe was a forward, wasn't he?
I think so, yeah.
You know who the other point guard is actually is Larry Brown. That's the other point guard option.
Yeah, ABA. He only played in the ABA like 4 or 5 years ago. He didn't play much pro ball.
It has 5 years, but he got 1,100 minutes. He played a lot when he played.
But you forget like Bobby Jones. That would be a legit NBA player. I mean, he was a big time NBA player, mainly on the defensive end, but as a glue guy. I mean,
he had his own poster. I mean, he had a poster. If you have your own poster, you're a legit NBA guy.
How many minutes did he play? He must have been up there, kind of.
He played 25,000 minutes. 25,000 minutes. So ranking the Carolina guys by points, it's the same thing. It's Jordan, Vinsanity, Antoine Jameson, but Sweet D is fourth.
Yeah, see, I think Walter Davis may have been the fifth. I think there might have been 5 Carolina guys in the top 50 players of all time. I think Walter Davis was one of them. Maybe he wasn't.
I'm going to look that up because Robert McAdoo wasn't he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was McAdoo. I know 3 are obvious, Worthy, Jordan, and Cunningham. And I'm pretty sure McAdoo was one of them. Because I remember, and then I think Walter Davis may have been, but maybe not.
Top 50 players. When did they do that?
It was 50 years after the NBA started.
Top 50 players all time. This is on NBA.com. I hope it's media. I hope it's mobile friendly. It is. All right, let's see. Was Walter Davis? No, he was not. But Billy Cunningham was.
But was McAdoo? I know Cunningham was, but was McAdoo top 50?
McAdoo was not. Kevin McHale was. That seems ill-founded.
Yeah, McAdoo was like a two-time MVP, I think, at least.
But James Worthy was. I'm sure the Celtics fans were upset about that. This is a pretty Celtic-centric list. I mean, Sam Jones, really?
Well, that's when I guess he was a great defensive player, teammate. Well, he won a lot, winning championships covers goes a long way.
Yeah, but 17.7 points, 4.9 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. I guess I'll forgive it because he went to NC Central, and he's from Wilmington.
Right.
So I'll make an exception for someone who was from the state of North Carolina. And probably just the university was not open enough to allow him to play there in the 50s.
I mean, it's always funny when they talk about Charlie Scott being the first African-American, they always make a point of it, student athlete at Carolina, because the first African-American student at Carolina was in the 40s.
Yeah, but he wasn't the first. He was just the first good one. Actually, I guess this was in Barry Jacobs' column today, and I guess Barry Jacobs' last basketball book is about the integration of basketball in the ACC and the SEC, right. And that Charlie Scott basically is thought of as the first scholarship one, but he wasn't. He just was the first good one at any of these schools. Because Maryland had a couple. Even Coach Smith had one in 1966, and then he quit before the varsity season started. He made the team, but he didn't.
Yeah, he was on the freshman team, and then he didn't play varsity. I remember that guy. But my high school principal, J.R. Griffin, he went to Carolina on the GI Bill, 1940s. And Carolina just quietly did it because they knew. I mean, they literally almost kept it quiet from the legislature. They were. I mean, Frank Porter Graham was the chancellor, and said basically, he took the wild-out position that segregation was bad, and said we quietly let African Americans into Carolina, and everybody said, okay, and you mean literally quietly, don't you? Yes, I mean very quietly. I mean, I'm going to send you a note with the names of 5 students to admit, and then you burn it. I mean, but that's how I remember. That's how I was talking to. I can't remember. I guess it was John Shelton Reed, who told me that they literally quietly did it. They went around to school, like they picked 6 or 7 dudes who'd all been in the war, who'd all been veterans, who'd all been very smart kids, and they interviewed them individually and said, we want you to come to Carolina. And these guys said, of course I do, but you can't tell anybody. Like, tell your mom and dad, but don't tell that stupid sister of yours who's going to blab it all over the high school. But they literally kind of did it like that. And they thought fighting Hitler would be the great leveler. If people
eventually, I guess it was.
So
it took a while. All right, well, let's test this one and see if it's recorded. Because I think it did.
You do that from your.
It should be on my YouTube page.
So is this recording the audio and the video? But you're just gonna post the audio, right?
No, post both of them.
Okay, so I'm gonna go change my shirt then.
Okay.
This is a terrible sweater that Yaya bought me for Christmas. Every time I wear it, Ari and Emma go, "Is that the sweater Yaya gave you?" Yes, it is. Okay.
I'm very jealous because all she got me were sweatpants, which she said that she got you also.
Yeah, I haven't worn those yet.
I wear them to sleep in.
I'll wear that when I eat food that I want to get on my lap. That's when I'll wear it. I think Ari said she wants to take it to college with her, so let's let her wear them.
There you go. Great way to finish, if anybody ever watches this, by making fun of our mom. Okay.
And
I'll try back in a few minutes.
9:30, right?
9:30. All right, bye.
All right, bye. Wait,